What's up, guys? This is Pedro from Team Franco RC, and today we're going to be going through some inside bearing issues that I'm having with my castle, and just go over a little bit over KV of what I've learned so far in my RC adventures. Now, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments about it, and please do correct me because you know, everybody seems to have their own opinion. However, a little while in the trade ago, I got this Castle 6900 kV 2S LiPo Max, which I'm sure it's a smaller motor than what I need to run my 4x4 slash. The 4x4 slash is currently being ran by this 3800 kV. And this one is a 3S LiPo Max. And I tell you, this has been the best Castle motor I've ever owned. And I've owned the bigger ones, the ones that go up to 4S and 6S. But this little guy here has been a trooper. So I want to, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I think it's a bearing. I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to literally, in other words, rape this little guy to rebuild this guy. I mean, I know they sell rebuild guys, but I'm probably never going to use this guy. I was actually going to make this a combo. I was going to put a Hobby Wing XO Run and put this motor on it, which probably would have been good for like a buggy, but you know, I want this monster running. So what I recommend for it is a Castle motor. As always, Castle is a little bit more aggressive than the Traxxas VXL3. VXL3S. I do have a VXL3S 4-wheel drive, and I do love it. Check out my skate park video. It's also there on YouTube. I always recommend Savox servos. These guys are indestructible, especially when you're coming down for jump. They tend to really work with a good servo saver. Now, yeah, let's take these guys apart and see what I can take from what I could tell just from difference. There's a little bit higher difference, but same bolt pattern. So let's take our handy dandy toolkit and let's take some shit apart. All right, so let's take the old one apart to see. Oh no, sorry, wrong size. Let's take the old one apart to see if there's any visual damage. Not any visual Jesus. We bless Jesus every day. Thank you, God. Sorry for using your name in vain there, but wow, those guys are tight, which is a good thing. Remember, when you're using Allen keys, always make sure you push down tight so that way you don't strip it. And if you ever do strip it, guys, I do recommend, and I mean 100% recommend, you get yourself one of these little kits. And they're speed out kits, and they allow you to take out a bolt. Actually, when I was taking the bolt off of this plate, the motor plate, I stripped, believe it or not, if I could find it, I stripped one of those little guys out. I'll find it and show you guys later. Anyways, I stripped one of those guys out, and I had to use a speed out kit in order to take it apart. Actually, let's hold on one second. Alright, sorry for the delay. I had to actually get the speed out kit bit that fell down, but check it out. So I stripped the bolt, and the speed out kit, literally, I mean, it's so tough in there, I can't even get that sucker out. But without it, I'll tell you guys what, I would not have been able to get that joker out. It was stripped pretty well, and luckily for that speed out kit, I'll tell you what, it's a lifesaver. Keep it handy and dandy. So now that that'll probably be trash. Anyways, so we took the first 3 bolts out of the old Castle. Now I've opened up VXL 3S's, and I've opened up the Castle, not Castle, the Ghoul RCs, but this is the first time opening up a Castle. Wow. let's begin by saying it is dirty. It's a dirty boy. So let's see here. Looks as if the bearing is all right. Let's see if I could pull the magnet out. Now, be careful so you don't mess up the shaft while pulling the magnet out. This is not a fabric wrapped. Maybe it is a fabric wrapped one like the VXL 3S, but it's definitely way different, I must say. I could see a bent bearing in there. I don't think the bearing in the back is the issue, but we are going to take further investigation here, guys. And you know, what makes the KV difference? I mean, leave a comment below. You know, you guys are more experienced. I'm just an RC dad figuring shit out by himself. But like, you know, what makes the KV difference is the amount of brushes that are in there. Is it the size of the Neo magnet? It's definitely not the cable size, because those are the exact same size. Is it the extra little 1/8 of an inch? Yeah, let me know. I would like to know. I mean, I could probably Google it, but you know, hey, this is what the RC community is all about. So don't be mean. Just, you know, educate everybody, including myself. That's what we need to do. Most people ridicule everybody else. You know, when I was a noob, I went to Hobby Town. Not to knock them off, but some of the guys that worked there weren't very eager to help. And that's not nice, man. This is supposed to be a hobby that we all are sharing. And I think that if we just spend a little bit more time watching each other's videos and helping each other out, this hobby can go a long way. I mean, has come a long way as it is. I mean, I remember riding remote control cars when I was a kid, wires still attached. I know you remember those guys whenever it went forward and it would go backwards like this, and you had to keep turning the room around. You know, our kids, or at least my kids driving these Traxxas, will never have to experience that. So I'm not sure how to remove the back there. I'm assuming a small blade may be in order. I'm curious as how to may have to pause this real quick and actually Google it and make sure I don't damage the casing to it. So I'll be right back. Alright, so after the time lapse, I figured out the best thing to do is actually stick a screwdriver through the center of the thing, and out of the back it will pop. However, I've noticed that on this exact motor, there is a little bit of like glue or something, which I guess protected the wires, which I don't like that I removed. But hopefully I'll be able to rob out of the new one. So the inside of that looks pretty good. Actually, does not look bad at all. The magnet looks immaculate. The bearings, I guess they're just stretched out. I mean, I don't see an issue with them. But all right. So now that we have all this taken apart and these bolts separate, now we're going to, quote unquote, take apart the Newcastle, which has never been ran, and as you can see, smooth. So I want that smoothness back on my baby. And then tell me what you guys think. Should I go ahead and since these Colossus is down because of a drive cup, should I rob the Hobby Wing motor and install on the Summit with the 2 Savox servos to make this a beast, and put the brush motor, the 775, back on the CEN, so that way it could be somewhat of a beast. I mean, it would just be a 4-wheel drive brushed 1/7 scale. I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Make Summit a beast, or just wait for drive cups and rebuild the CEN? Let me know what you guys think down below. Anyways, back to the taking apart of the Castle motor. I could definitely tell you that the older motor, the screws are much tighter. So Castle, if you're listening out there, I think your product control is getting a little you know, could have been tighter. So difference in caps, absolutely no difference. Let me line them up. Same amount of holes, everything, same bearing, same everything. Okay, so that's that. Alright. So remember shaft. So yeah. Alright, so I can notice that the difference in the KV is the size of the Neo magnet. I can live with that. Maybe nobody needs to answer that for me. I think I just kind of figured it out. And I do see a spacer in the front and in the back for these guys. So I don't know if it's the cave, you know. Alright, well, I'm going to take a pause. Let me figure out what is making my motor actually shake, and I'll get back with you with some results. Alright, so after a little bit of bearing replacement, as you can see without the casing, I'm just loving every spin of this thing. And I'm also going to end up utilizing the parts of this for one of the cords. I can't really use the casing. I will be utilizing the remaining bearings to rebuild a VXL 3S, and yeah, so you know, just never let anything go to waste in RC, guys. You know what I mean? Don't just throw it away. You can use it somewhere else. That's my advice. But as I'm rebuilding, I just wanted to show you guys that and how it came out. You like that spin, don't you? Alright, let's make sure everything fits back in the casing properly now. I do, there is sometimes, you know, where you tend to forget one little thing, one little detail, and that could always throw you off. So I would begin by reinstalling your rear cover to one that you hopefully did not damage like I did. I was just gonna use the back and the front, you know, because it had the new bearings. And one thing about Castles, they glue their bearings in, so it's not very easy to just take a bearing from one motor and put it to the other. So because I damaged the back casing to the new motor, I can't use it. However, my issue, thankfully, ended up being the front bearing, and so by changing that out, hopefully I've rebuilt my 3800 kV, which is perfect for the Slash 4x4 with the Proline trenchers. It does not get hot running on 2S. Got a motor fan. I mean, this thing just rips. I find myself to enjoy the sweet spot between 3000 and 3800. I don't know how you guys feel. Leave a comment down below. What do you like? You know, I like 3800 is my favorite fucking number for these little motors. and it probably will be for the rest of my hobby days. So, recommendation is make sure you take a wipe, or in my case, I'm gonna take a toothbrush just to make sure there's no debris in there, because you never know. Looks beautiful. The inside is beautiful. Okay, so now we have the Neo magnet, which will make sure it's clear, and we're gonna and you got to be careful because it catches me every time. It pulls in so quick. That magnet's so strong. But anyways, you want to spin this, make sure you got the right side. I think I have the wrong size. Yeah, this was for the other motor. Now it's spinning like a... Alright, so end result, guys, I got my 3800 kV rebuilt with that front bearing. Now it's spinning beautifully there. Let me see if I can put the spinning on here. Now it's not crunchy anymore. I just need a new pinion because that guy is chewed to death. It might look good on video, but actually it is, yeah, it's doing some damage. And RIP 1406. I wasn't gonna use you anyways, and I'm good to learn. I can still use it. I just, like I said, I'm gonna have to drill a hole out back here because that is ridiculous. Make an easier way to remove this castle, please. Please. Thank you. So the process of taking apart the VXL 3S is sort of similar. We're gonna see if we're gonna be able to salvage. That's what I like to call salvage. In the way it's salvaging, in the way you are scavenging. I like that term better. Scavenging parts from one RC to the next. Now this combo would be nice. A VXL 3S with the Hobbywing X10 Pro. That would be a way better combo than a 6900 kV Castle that I had on there. So this one's sort of similar, except you can't take both parts out. That's where it becomes very difficult to work on the VXL 3S versus the Castle motor, is that you could take apart front and back of the Castle motor and you have more access to it. On this one you really can't, and to get to that inner bearing is a I'm not even gonna lie, it's a bitch. So to all you noobs out there, this is the 3351R. So this is the newer VXL motor. If you want to ever notice a difference. So the older motors are not going to say that there. And it's going to be a chrome plate with exposed soldering for your poles. Also, it's a 2-pole system. This is a 4-pole system. You can Google it, see the difference. There's a lot of gunk in this baby. Oh, she's a dirty girl. So on these, you can take apart that back and grab here and pull. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good at all. Yeah. Probably why it's seized. I wouldn't even say it's because of the bearings, actually. All the coating came off. And my stand keeps on breaking. Okay, we're back on. time for new stands. Definitely. Anybody want to donate a stand at Team Franco RC so I can record y'all more shit? Please send me something that my phone won't fall off of, because I think it's about to fall off right now. Alright. Hopefully if my phone doesn't break, I'll be able to finish this video. Alright, cool. So... baby wipes. Always keeps baby wipes. You know, seeing the way the castle is, I want to try to run this one without any, I mean, it's still a magnet. I don't see why it couldn't run. However, I do want to take this temperamental bearing and then install the awesomely new bearing I just had, which is actually not the same size, guys. Castle's got a bigger bearing than what I need. It's okay. All right. Well, back bearing too could be shut. You know. Oh, that actually. I fixed the issue with this VXL. Then we get a kit, a brand new bearing. So anyways, after your great adventures with your VXL, which actually if you go on forums and you read about them, there's not really much of a power difference you're not going to notice between a 2-pole and a 4-pole. Obviously the 4-pole motor, you have gained a lot to it because you know, it's well developed, you got more poles, but however, power difference, there's not much any there. They are more reliable. I'll tell you, they're not interchangeable with the ESCs now. You can use a 4-pole motor on a old DSC. Now if you try to use a 2-pole motor in a new ESC or vice versa, I would Google that, because I've heard of problems and people losing motors, which is, man, when it comes to RCs, losing a motor is like losing a child. So there we go. Now we have a rebuilt VXL 3S. We have a rebuilt Castle 4-pole, beautiful. And we have salvaged a paperweight. Maybe some new wires. I don't know. I'll figure something out to do with it. Toss it around. Anyways, guys, Click like and subscribe. I know I'm not the best, most convenient person, and I probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about 90% of the time. But my content is real, it's raw, it's here, it's what's happening to me. And I'm a noob, I'm a pro. I don't give a fuck what I am. I'm showing you. I'm not teaching you. I'm showing you. Hey, this is what the fuck happened to me. This is the tools that I had handy. This is what the fuck I did. And hey, it could work for you. Salvage your shit. Don't go spend your money. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have to go to work for this shit. So, you know, as always, keep doing that RC thing, and Team Franco RC out.